Welcome back. It's Rosa Hart, and we are in chapter 4. Several days after that passed in peace, after their large enemy has been forced back. The demons haven't showed up around the castle, but that doesn't mean they're gone. No, sir. They're still slighted in the village. They simply don't come near the castle. What on earth are they doing? I wonder if they're not waiting for reinforcements. Reinforcements? There's even more of them? I can't say for sure, but it's a possibility. Eavesdropping on the war conversation from the hallway, I let out a sigh. It doesn't look like the war with the demons would be over anytime soon. Oh, one of those clear, fine days, Harun comes to my room. After I let him in on my round, he spoke with his usual shady smile. How about going for a walk with me? You mean outside of the castle? Yes, fortunately there are no signs of demons today. I must be somewhat stiffer for you, staying cooped up inside the castle. And besides, aren't you curious about how things look outside? Well, that is true. I am curious. We can't go down to the town due to the demons prowling about, but we can view it from atop the hill. Ouch. Henry was grinning like a cat. I wonder what he got in mind. I felt like it could be dangerous taking this man at his word. Plus, I didn't expect to go anywhere with him, much less just the two of us alone. My character does not want to, and I want to. No, why? Why me and you are opposites. You're suspicious of him, and I go like, but why can't we tell him everything? So what? The sword says you might disappear. We don't know if he's telling the truth. And he's going to be more suspicious if I don't tell him anything. I'm a little bit busy. I give her a smile. I heard the invitation, but I have to say no. Unfortunately, I'm a little busy today, so... But your handmaid said you have no plans. Well, I do have plans. Not with princesses things. With arts and crafts? No, I couldn't be so timely. That would only lead to a longer, harsher standoff. Well then, let me be clear. I do not want to go. Huh? You make me nervous recently, especially after what you did the other day. Do you mean when I checked on your ruins? Checked? Yeah. I have where's my wooden knife? There it is. I have a knife. I will use it on you. I'm not scared of you. You might think I'm scared of you, but I'm not. Probably because you're behind a screen, so you can't really do anything. But still, you're not as threatening as she makes you sound to be. I just don't trust you. And I have every right to. I don't care who you are. I'm not interested. Yes, former fiancé or not, you can't act like that around a woman. So I don't want to go with you. I see. Still smiling, Harun gave a quick bow. I apologize for the intrusion. I'll make myself scarce. And with that, Hun swiftly left my room. Huh? I let my shoulders slump in relief. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Clever as Hun was, I expected him to put a harder fight. Well, whatever, it worked out. Just as I returned my relief, a maid showed up. Princess, did you decline Sir Hun's invitation? No. No. How did you know? When he passed by just now, he grumbled at me and then left. He was very disappointed. He thinks you hate him now. So what? I don't know him. Why should I care? I don't know him. Oh, no, it's not like that. I hate him. Exactly. The headman's face fell. I know that you two of you had called off the wedding out of for all subjects, but he did come all this way here to fight you. You should go. Don't declare him for our sake. That's not what I said. No. I said no because the maid looked out and took my hand. Her eyes mostly. We'd all so appreciate of your... No! Drazek can't kill a handmaid. But at a time like this, when I really want is for you to at least be happy. Watching her starting to cry, I realized my own carelessness. He got me. I should have expected no less from the tragic plan this would happen. Princess, please go with him. Sir Hen was really looking forward to your company. Sure he was. Fine! Please, Princess. I was a sucker for the end of a few service vows. Jeez, what's wrong with me? I'm supposed to be a princess. Why am I so weak? Alright. Will you tell him that I accept his invitation? I have no other choice. Oh, goodness. That was a dirty trick. What do you mean? You know exactly what I mean, mister. You're lucky everyone thinks you're my fiance. Was my fiance. But in real life, I don't know you, so I am suspicious of you. And I have every right to be. As we walked through the forest side by side, Hun couldn't separate his grin. You got my handmaid on your side. How is accepting handmaiden are at willing over the hearts of women? Well, well, are you concerned about me that you let your jealousy show? I'm not jealous. Hun smiles with good humor. It was behind us. 2,000 were following. They were our bodyguards, since we have no idea when the demons might appear. I wish those guys would stay a little closer. They're probably trying to be polite. I'm not that bad with a sword. You don't need to worry about the demons. Prove it. Kill something. Obviously not me. That I should have been more specific when I gave that order. Oh, I'm dead. That's not what I was worried about. I still want you to prove it. I haven't seen you fight with a sword. So prove it. Prove you're not bad with a sword. I can prove mine. You want to see? Ta! I got a knife to your neck. Now you are at my mercy. Hell yeah. I'm the talented one, and you are not. So, I will win at the end. Oh, so what is that concerns you? Makes up. I said I wasn't going to lie, so why would I lie? I don't know. I was shocked. If I misspoke, he would notice that the memory were lies. And if he did, he might go back to his old world. That was one thing I wouldn't allow to happen. Apparently, I'm by my side. He continued speaking. By the way, I stopped by the maid service rooms today. What for? You stick your nose anywhere, won't you? Sometimes there's gossip of women includes the most uninteresting things. What are you talking about? Are you sure they weren't more lecture mode involved? Anyway, did you find anything out? Yes, I heard one interesting thing. Apparently they stopped working on your wedding dress a month ago. Well, we're not getting married. What could that be the reason for that? Well, we're not getting married. So why would it... A month ago would be before we talked about canceling, just about the time I was dying. Oh, oh dear. This is an interesting thing. They stopped making my dress when my real fiance died, and they still are. They stopped not working on my dress. Interesting. Very interesting. Don't expect anything, sweetheart. They'll kill you. I mean, I'm the sweetheart. They had stopped sewing my dress because my fiance had died. But there was no way I could say so to Harvard. Why not? I'm so determined to tell him the truth. I don't know why. What if he doesn't disappear? I mean, the source said there's a chance. Not certain. So why would I know it's chancing it. But I feel like he would stop doing a lot of things for one. And two, I have to hope he doesn't kill me afterwards. Yeah. Oh well. That's also, that's like two bad things. It's all because of your feeling. Maybe they knew we were fighting? Alright. It's all because of your fever. It's all because of the fever. The fever? I started at home, started on. You had such a bad fever. You were on the brink of death. At one point, we truly thought you were going to die. So they must have thought the wedding dress would no longer be needed. Is that so? And so the reason you can't remember anything must be because of your fever too. Maybe even the reason you become so evil-hearted can be blamed on that. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh, that girl, I love you. Oh yeah. Say that to his face. Good job. Aside for the part of black and hardness, that does sound possible. I love his reaction. Oh, yeah, sure. Everything but this part. Oh, right? Because that's not true. Of course it does. It's the truth. I cast my eyes down to the ground. As I did, I noticed white flowers growing on the roadside. Oh, hey, I didn't know you were dazing out here too. Me either. At the exact same time, both of us stopped our horses, moved in, and started in at the flowers. I got off my horse and stood next to him. You've been really interested in Daisy ever since the other day. Yeah, they aren't rare flowers, but somehow I can't shake the feeling that they're somehow unique. Without thinking, a smile comes up to my face. Don't be silly. They were brought over from Europe, but they were over 100 years ago. Now they grow all over the hills and countryside. I know, but still, I think there's something special about them. On the day I cut the daisies down in the courtyard, I walked out there and saw the flowers. First, I thought I'd never seen them before. After all, I remembered that they were the flowers I planted with you. It was like the memory of planting them had been wiped from my memory. And looked at me. And then you forgot about planting them too. It was a long time ago. Maybe so. But however how long, you're not the type to forget something important about your fiancé. Well, I made a deal with someone, so well, I'm simply not convinced, Princess. He didn't seem to be looking for an answer from me. Without any more question, he simply stares at the flowers. From where I stood beside him, his face looked deep and self-relieved. He then squat down, starting to dig them up, daisy by the roots. Harvard? Since I cut down the daisies at the castle, let's bring these back and plant them. We're going to do what we did last time? Okay. But if you put your target there, the war will be over someday. Until then, we can plant them somewhere else. Right in the middle of Herm's sensors. Grrrr! A horn large raised us as someone starts sliding down the hill. Who goes there? I'm crunched around me. One by one, there were more men sliding down. They were all obvious bad men and quickly become earned when they were bandits. A large of men look at us and crook their heads with curiosity. Ah, what do we have here? I thought we had 2 women, but one of them is a man. Good one, bad boss. I love ya. Yeah. He's still a beauty. We can definitely get good money for him. And the woman's pretty too. It was worth all the danger to come here after all. The bandits seemed to peer our view. Our other 2 men. When I whispered under breath, Herm answered, eyes straight ahead. It appears that they were the only ones that have come this far. Oh. If so, then we were on our own? Hey, boss. Here's a good horse. It looks weak at first, but it must be a war horse. The mirror behind looks healthy too. Hey. The arms was suddenly grabbed, and the next instant, a light flashed between my eyes. Arr! Venom blood flew through the air, falling to the ground with a thunk. Was the man's arm that had just been burned grabbed by money. It had been clearly severed at the elbow. To think, we were such health run about this close to the castle. I guess when there's so much unrest, the castle earned doesn't mean much. Ben spoke coldly, blood sword still in his hand, his eyes as bright as the winter moon. Ah! My arm! My arm! The man who just lost his arm was rolling around the ground with rolling pain. The other bandit ignored his steps and closed in around us. Boss, this guy. Yeah, don't let your guard down, any of you. Princess. Yes. If you're too scared, close your eyes. Never. No sooner had Ren finished speaking than he lunged. His moves like a fish, glaring through the water. I stared wide-eyed. I was afraid, but there was no time to close my eyes. Hun left our opponents no chance to attack. He swung to the right and then to the left, slicing at the men's arms and legs like a burst of fire. Grrr, grrr. Oh, what's the... In an instant, the sword falls from their hands, and our enemies on both sides. Only their leader remains standing right in front. Ren thrusts the tip of his sword at the man's neck. Well, never mind about me getting my knife to his neck, because if he can do this, I'm going to fail. So what's next? Your minions are all down. Do you still want more? The badness boss broke out in a cold sweat, hamstrung his rest of his skin. In a few moments, our end will catch you. You know what will happen then, don't you? Things are as they are now. We don't have the current to sport the likes of you. So what will be, the Kun or the rack? And smiled with frightless efforts. The Bren leader body immediately seems to shrink. Harun suddenly released a bit, and even so slightly without his sword. If you leave as soon as I remove my sword, I will let you go this time. Oh no. Good luck! See, no one saw your movements. The boss nodded, firing, and called out to his men. Men, let's get out of here. But boss, shut up and let's go. Take him with you too. He points at the band sweating blood as he runs around the ground. And don't forget the arm. You might still be able to reattach it. The men hurry and pick up their comrades. After watching them disappear up the hill, Holmes finally spoke. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I was all stunned by the bazaar of Harm's skills. That's wonderful. Harm remained facing ahead. You were really amazing back there. I was a little surprised. Since the trend, I assume you wouldn't be as good fighter. I know the basics. That's more than the basics. But was it okay to let them get away like that? Who knows what they might do next? Hun? As I watched Hun thin body in front of me enlarge, I reached out to catch him, but we both hugged to the ground. I end up on the bottom and crawled in my arms. You should just leave me. And watch as you fall over? Your kindness surprised me. Are you really going to be that mean every time? Even at a time like this? Never mind that. You don't look so good. Did those guys hurt you? Of course not. I'm short a laugh. I just seems to have overtaxed myself. Like you said, I'm not used to fighting. Liar. That was actually really cool. Liar. Liar, I'm the daughter of Hashem too. I know some things about sword fighting. You try to defend them with the least amount of effort possible. You move like a well-trained warrior. And give me a wide smile. You don't speak like you're talking to your childhood friend and fiance, huh? It's like you're talking to a complete stranger. This is why I want to tell you so bad. I recently considered on school and then the arts of men. You know that. Damn. It was true. I knew him since childhood. I should know how much he has strained. Really. My memory's been pretty bad lately, too. I tried making my mistakes with a smile. More importantly, why don't you try not having to have the least word every single time? You don't have to explain anything to me. It's obvious seeing how pale you are. You're absolutely right. Hem smiles. Are you hurt? You're not hurt anywhere. No, Sally, I was just born with a weak condition. Nothing wrong in particular. I'm a little tired. Let me rest on your lap for a while. I hope you'll let me borrow your lap, since keep the daisies safe for now. When I chuckled, I saw he was unchucking the flowers to his chest. Of course. Rest as long as you need. For some reason, Hem responds with a bitter smile. Wow, that's unexpected generous of you. What is that supposed to mean? You've been awfully cold to me lately. You've been kind. Your being kind actually makes me a little uneasy. Well, I can't help being kind to you. Do you want your head dropped on the ground? Yeah, just like that. I feel much better now. And grins and moves at his own teasing. Anyway, goodness, can you believe those guys? Trying to sell us off, and not even just me, but you. Well, you know, I used to get mistaken for a woman all of a sudden, Hem got a puzzled look on his face and looked straight at me. What is it? That's not true. I've never been mistaken for a woman before. So why do I feel like? In truth, the man before me did have beautiful features. He could have been taken for a woman, but perhaps it hasn't been so for my fiancé. Men rarely look in the mirror. Mirrors are large items of women. It was long to assume that they are done between his face now and that of a false memory. Honestly, it seems that I was no into these things that might find suspicious. Close your eyes and rest. The others should be here soon. Apparently not having heard me, Hem falls into a deep thought, his expression desolate. The next day, Hem was put on bed rest. I went to see him, but I wasn't allowed into his room. Sir Hem himself said it isn't that bad. He just doesn't want you to see him ill in bed and worry. Ooh, did he get my fiance's sickness? That would be interesting. Oh. He's been so well recently, but now that I think of it, he rarely ill before. You must be quite worried about him. My fiance had died of illness. I hope that the man who had been replaced him hasn't been burdened with the same sickness. The maid left, and once I was alone, I asked the dagger, would people summoned by the switch ever get the same illness as the one they replaced? Well, how should a little demon know the answer to such a difficult question? The real question was he avoiding the question, or did he really not know the answer? The second evening, the headman bring dinner tray spoke to me. Princess, I just saw Sir Hem. You did? Is he already recovered? Apparently so. He was in the run giving some sort of orders. I thought I didn't want to see him, but hearing he was ill, I became concerned. My concern was only increasing by the fact that he was in place son for my late fiancé. Without thinking, I stood up. Princess, I'm going to check on him, but your dinner. You can leave it. I'll be back soon. All right, I'll come with you. No, it's okay. Really, I'm going to see him real quick and come right back. Yes, ma'am. The maid covered her mouth with her hands and giggles. I guess you two made up. That's wonderful. I almost corrected her, but stopped when I realized there was no point. There are some rough men around Braggers. I'm sure they won't do anything important to you, but just take care. The headman watched me go as I head for the baker. There were many pharaohs who have lost their homes. With the demons around, the castle's town was also uninhabitable. Most of the pharaohs were now housed in the baker's, where I spot Hearn. Oh, Hearn! I started to call out for him, but stopped. He looked to be having a serious talk with Martinson. I probably shouldn't interrupt. It wasn't as if I were in any hurry. I decided to wait until he finished the conversation. Whether because of light or because he was sick, and didn't look very well. Very good, let's begin the preparations. Sorry, but you do know we don't have much time left. You sure you didn't hit your head? So, I didn't, and letting this war drag on any longer than it has to be. A live dog is better than a dead lion. There's no point in ending the war if no men left. For now, let's see to it the injury recover as quickly as possible. Alright, Ern replies and rubs his chin. I hope I'm just imagining, but you look a little pale. I'm simply on the mend. Well, that's good to hear. Maybe I could make you something then to help. No need. Instead, do whatever you can for the injured soldiers. Ern smiles, but then suddenly looked grim. Have you noticed anything different in me completely to how I used to be? My ears picked up at the question. Men seemed surprised. Why do you ask all of a sudden? This isn't anything you find suspicious. Do you ever feel like I'm a completely different person than I used to be? Ern rubs his chin and looked up at the ceiling. I can't say that I haven't noticed a time or two, but don't worry yourself about it. I've always thought that we all meant victory to this world. And as victories and strife are done, things are done, everything will pass. There's no need to worry about small trim details. However very deep, I should defend as much from you. With a grim smile, Hearn closes his eyes. I do worry, though. So much sometimes want to strangle my own neck. Hey, now. Hearn grinned, but Hearn remained serious. I used to be a totally different person. Whenever I remember back, it drives me crazy. I used to do a terrible strength, one that I would never think to use now. Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. Hearn, I got caught up in emotion, even pulling out soldiers out to Kern for their lives. And what happened when you retreat, when you should fight? The war is fun, and death included. It's always been a poor strategy. I can't decide a plan that will start in zero death, and yet I simply can't afford to make those kind of mistakes. And that makes me so. Hearn groans as he were sent of blood. I have no idea he's been this tortured. I put my hand on my dagger and bit my lip. The false memories were hurting him. He felt that failure of my fiance as if they were his own. That's why he was feeling all the more frustrated. I know you're there, princess. I gasped. When I turned around, I met with Hearn's cold gaze. Eavesdropping is for commoners. It's not right for someone of your status. I wonder. I would think twice about doing it again if I were you. With Hearn heading off the current, disappearing from sight. Hearn rubs his chin with a turned expression. Don't worry about him, princess. You were just waiting for us to finish talking, right? I couldn't find a reply to my Hearn's words. At least I understood. I knew the reason that Hearn sometimes acted harsh towards me. He was angry and frustrated. He pressured me for answers because he thought I knew something that could help. Because he was feeling pressure himself. What should I do? Without cutting the dagger, I feel a total loss for what to do next. Ooh. Black out of mind. Princess, you have to get some sleep or you become weak. I lift my head from where my chin has been in my hand. Before I realized it was dark outside, I must have been thinking for a long time. Yes, I know, I'll go to bed soon. You may go. Yes, ma'am, good night. The handmaid left my room. After waiting a few moments, I too left the room alone. I didn't expect to see you here alone, this late at night. What happened? And greeted my sudden visit with a surprised look. May I come in? Well, I do not mind if you do. Without answer, I slipped past her and into the room. It should have been the room my late Roxy has used. I thought it might find something to jog my memory, but there was no trace in the dining room. Even his bells no longer linger. Of course, I may not have been able to recognize it if I had. I don't have any food or drink to offer you, so please have a seat. I accept the offer to sit and fixed on look at Hun. I prefer to tell you something, everything tonight. Everything? An eye sparkle, I nod. You had a lot of things that you found curious or strange, haven't you? I might have all the answers you're looking for. I knew it. I stepped eager forward. If anything weird is happening, and if anyone would know why, it would be you. I thought so all along. Yes, I apologize for not being able to tell you about it sooner. It's fine, but why tell me now? Well, because I couldn't watch you suffer any longer. Me? It hurts me to see you frustrated about things that were your own mistakes. The false strange that comes, though weren't you struggling at all. What do you mean? Before I tell you, there's something I need to ask you. I knew I might be able to do something very cool. Without realizing, I started to speak. Something to ask me. I can tell you the truth about everything, but ooh, I'm going to tell the truth. After you hear what I said, you might not be able to stay here anymore. Not stay here anymore. Is what you mean to... In what way do you mean? Do you mean I have to leave the castle or... No, you couldn't remain in this world. For a moment, Hen looked caught off guard, but he spoke coldly. Do you mean that I would die? I shook my head. No, not die. You would just go to another world. Another world. What Earth? I don't know exactly what it means either. All I know is when you learn the truth, it might happen, that's all. So you have to choose. Do you want to hear what I have to say and might have to leave, or not hear and stay? Herm was silent, his expression solemn. If you leave here, then you might be more peaceful land waiting for you. But if you go, then the people of this castle here. I hung my head and knew that by telling him this is a huge burden on him. That maybe said it's more difficult, and even more so, knowing that my hand came here for the own weakness and do you honestly think that I would choose to leave? His lower voice was filled with anger. I didn't lift my head. Hen was glancing at me. His eyes were in his fists too tight, that his knuckles were white. To bend all the soldiers injured by my tactics, and the men looking to me for help? Do you really think that poorly of me? After the time shot out, Hen was overtaken by his fitted cough. Hen, I rushed up to him and tried to rub his back, but he knocked my head away. Hen, I never met, don't understand anything. After Hen looked up at me. I understand now, Princess. I won't ask any more questions, but I hope you can give me my due. Thanks for agreeing to not ask. Hun squeezed my hand and hangs at my side. Hun, you're hurting me. But Hun didn't introduce his grip. Instead, he added the other arm, and me even tighter. I don't get it. I don't understand. Ever since that night, you were hurt. His hands still locked on my arms. Hun moved his face close to mine. There's a part of me that loves you more than anything else. But these feelings are so bittersweet. They feel more borrowed than my own. It's different. I never had anything to do with such sappy feelings. Stop it. The breath touches my neck was hot. I twist the body and escape Hun's grasp. And yet, you look like me on a stranger. You are to be looked at that way by someone who loves you hurts. Do you have any idea how that feels? Stop it, stop it. At times like this, I just want to cut you up in a million. I have a knife! You stay back. And grunts a shy laugh. How have we come this far without a single kiss? Well, my fiance was dying! Well, because of my fiance, because he had been the kind of person that wanted to wait until the wedding. Princess, the way I love you, it's not strong enough to wait. After Cody spoke, he suddenly let go of me. Hun turned his icy glares on me. He looked at me as if I were a piece of trash tossed on the road. Ooh. And it's still 32%. I want to save over here. Tonight you're going to do whatever I want. Be my plaything. Oh, no? Huh? You're not going to refuse you? You're not going to refuse, are you? Stay there and take off your clothes. No. And got right to the middle of the room. Was he really asking me to stand there alone, naked? I felt my body begin to burn up inside in anger and salt. I wanted to just say whatever happened to him and leave the room. What to do? I could die or... No offense, I want to see what happens if I say really say I don't want to tell you. To be honest, still 32 for it. To be honest, I really don't want to tell you at all. And why is that? Well, it's because once I tell you, won't be able to stay in this world anymore. Oh, so I tell him. Okay. That's a bay. But I couldn't do that. I was the one who had brought him into this world because of my own selfish wish. I gave him false memories and caused him so much trouble and pain. If I do it, will it make you feel better? I wouldn't have to ask if I didn't think it would be a nice distraction. What's wrong? What do you have to be embarrassed about? Originally, we due to be married next month, were we? Not? I bite my lip. Of course. I'm not going to force you. If you want, you should leave now. Although I can't say for sure what will happen after you do. His smirk somehow devilish-like. He knew that I made tips to the burn, covering for the injuries. Whenever I was attacked by an opponent, he'd always protect me. Regarding how he chopped down the daisies he brought back to involve, deep down, he just has to be a good person. I look at him with a grin. I understand. I stood up, turned my back. My back still turned. I left my robe fall down from my shoulders. Oh, Are you going to let me see the soft skin of yours? Ooh, he's smirking. And groans a laugh of reaction. Undo my belt and undo the tie around my waist and drop my kimono. Since curling my crushing fingers, I untie the strand of my undergarments. I force all the thoughts of the man watching me from behind. From my mind, I remove the underclothes. A light of the lap and me from behind. The end was embarrassing, but long all come. Satisfied now? Laugh sang from Ern's lips. What's so funny? I covered my chest and looked over my shoulder to see Hen was cleaning his stomach, chuckling. How amusing, you really are new to this. Did you really think the relation between a man and woman end with getting undressed? Yes. I faced towards me. Hen spoke, a broad grin still on his face. Took off your clothes knowing what I was going to ask to do, did you not? I'm not scared of you. Happy now? Glancing furting, I faced Hen's head on. I dropped my hands and leave my chest and playing for you. I suddenly felt invalid, but I pushed past my time and stood strongly. I'm impressed. Your den is adorable. Come here, princess. I'm beckoning me to his outstretched hand. His gaze moved over my body, almost frowning. Good girl. In real life, I would have left you. You know that? I would have totally left the room. My arms was pulled, and I got on my knees. A tear turned my chest. I didn't know how much time passed after that. When I woke from light sleep, I could see the sky become light through the screen door. I moved my heavy body out from under the blanket. Hen? When I looked around the room, I saw her reading in the corner by the morning light. If you are up, you should go back to your room. If a maid comes to wake you and you aren't there, it might cause some casualties. Hen didn't glance my way even once. His sadly eyes stayed focused on his book. As I straightened my clothes and left, he made no move to say a single word. But he was so gentle last night. The way he talked, I fully expect him to do something much worse to me. But his hands was the being gentle, and why he haven't spoke. He haven't even been rough. And plus, he didn't even try to go all the way. I looked up at the dawn sky through the small window. I wondered just how I should feel about this man, about her. I no longer have any idea. Hate him completely? No offense, sweetheart. He's not my, how he acts, he's not my type, obviously. We'll leave it here. Peace, guys.